You wake up before dawn to the sound of war, not gunfire, but machinery. The siren wails outside the factory gates like an animal in pain, calling you back to the same place that swallowed yesterday. You pull on your rough gray overalls, your fingers trembling as they button your collar, still stiff from the soot and sweat of the day before. Your hair is wrapped tight beneath a scarf, not for modesty, but for safety. One loose strand could mean your death. You used to dream of books, dances, sunlight. Now your world smells of oil, smoke, and fear. The air trembles as the machines start up, each piston and belt roaring like artillery. It's strange. You've never been near the front, yet every morning feels like a battle. You stand at your station beside a line of women, all young and pale beneath the fluorescent glare. The supervisor walks behind you, barking orders, stopwatch in hand, his eyes scanning not faces, but hands. How fast they move, how steady they stay. You try to keep rhythm with the machine. Grab, place, press, release. Over and over 1,000 times an hour. You are no longer a person, but part of the mechanism, one cog in the great machine of war. The metal shrieks, sparks fly, you smell burning. Somewhere someone yells, a sleeve caught, a hand crushed. The sound is brief, swallowed by the relentless hum. There's no time to stop. Not when every shell, every bullet means survival for soldiers who will never know your name. At lunch, you sit on a wooden crate beside your friend Marta. Her hands are blistered, but she smiles anyway. We're winning, she says. You want to believe her, but you know the truth. You haven't seen the sky in weeks, haven't heard laughter that wasn't forced. You're winning nothing. You're enduring. The days blur into nights. You work by candlelight when the power fails, by instinct when your eyes blur from exhaustion. Outside the world burns, cities, homes, lives, and yet the factory keeps breathing, unbroken. The walls vibrate with the rhythm of production, as if the building itself is alive, feeding on your labor and fear. Sometimes when the machines pause for maintenance, there is silence. Heavy, dangerous silence. In that moment, you hear the sound of your own pulse, loud in your ears. A reminder that beneath the soot, the noise, the fatigue, there is still something human left. You close your eyes and imagine the world beyond the smoke. Fields of green, laughter, the sea. It feels like another planet. But then the siren screams again, and you return to the rhythm of war. That night, walking home under a sky the color of ash, you pass posters showing smiling women. She's doing her part. You stare at them, then at your oil-stained hands. The posters show heroes. You see survivors. You reach home and fall onto your narrow bed without undressing. The sound of the machines still echoing in your skull. Somewhere far away, men are dying, and here in the heart of the factory, you are dying too, slower, quieter, but dying all the same. And yet, when dawn comes and the siren calls, you will rise again, because that's what soldiers do. Night has become your companion. The factory never sleeps, and neither do you. When the daylight shifts fade, the night crews file in. Hundreds of women wrapped in shawls, faces pale beneath the cold glare of hanging lamps. The air is thick with smoke and the metallic scent of grinding steel. The machines hum like monstrous lullabies, and you learn to live in rhythm with them, your heartbeat sinking to their pulse. Your fingers are raw, your back screams, and your lungs ache from the dust. Still, you move, steady, mechanical, obedient. Every shell you finish carries a strange power. You imagine where it will go, the front lines, the trenches, the nameless soldier clutching it before firing into the dark. You tell yourself that your suffering keeps him alive. That thought becomes your prayer. Sometimes the sparks fly too close. Tiny glowing stars leap from the welding line, burning holes in sleeves, hair, and skin. The pain is sharp but fleeting, nothing compared to the burn of exhaustion that never fades. Around you, the women keep working, humming old songs to fill the silence that would otherwise crush them. There's laughter sometimes. Nervous, fragile laughter. Marta tells a joke about rationed bread or the manager's bald head, and for a few seconds it feels like the world before the war still exists. Then the whistle blows, and the moment shatters like glass. Outside, the night is black and endless. The city glows faintly in the distance, not from stars, but from fires. You pause at the door before heading home, your face lit by the dull orange sky. For a heartbeat, you let yourself believe that one day this will end. Inside the factory, a spark falls to the ground and dies, but others keep flying. Tiny, defiant embers in the dark, and you realize that's what you've become, a spark that refuses to go out, even in the shadow of the war. The factory is quiet now, too quiet. The war has ended, they say, but your body doesn't believe it. Your hands still twitch for tools that aren't there. Your ears still wait for the next siren. For the first time in years, the machines stand still, their great iron lungs empty. The silence feels heavier than the noise ever did. You walk between the lines of idle equipment, your boots echoing on the concrete floor. Dust hangs in the sunlight like ghosts. The smell of oil and metal still lingers, stubborn as memory. You run your fingers over a lathe, cold now, lifeless, and remember the heat it once carried, the sound of creation that was also destruction. The men are coming home. The newspapers call them heroes. The women, you, Marta, all of you, are told to return to your homes, your kitchens, your sewing. You've done your duty, they say with polite smiles, as if duty can be folded neatly and packed away. You nod, you smile back, but inside you feel something sharp twist. You built weapons that shaped the world, and now you are expected to vanish. Marta doesn't come back to work. She got married to a soldier, moved to the countryside. You send her a letter, but never hear back. Maybe she wants to forget this place. The noise, the burns, the smell of iron that seeps into your dreams. You can't blame her. You've tried forgetting too. It doesn't work. Sometimes you hear the sound of a dropped pan in your small kitchen and your heart jumps. Sometimes the hiss of the kettle sounds too much like steam from the press. And sometimes in the middle of the night, you wake to silence and realize you're listening for the whistle that will never blow again. You visit the factory months later. The gates are locked, the windows broken. Grass grows through the cracks in the yard. You stand there for a long time, hands in your coat pockets, the wind tugging at your scarf. The walls that once shook with the heartbeat of war now crumble in peace. It feels wrong that so much noise, so much life could end so quietly. In your pocket you carry a small gear, a souvenir you once pocketed from your workstation. It's nothing really, just a piece of metal. But when you hold it, you remember everything, the heat, the fear, the laughter, the sparks. You remember what it meant to keep going when the world was falling apart. Years later, when the stories of the war are told, they speak of battles, generals, and heroes. No one mentions the women who kept the machines alive. The posters fade, the medals tarnish. But somewhere, in the memory of steel and smoke, your name still exists, unspoken but real.
You light a small lamp and set the gear beside it on your windowsill. The light glints off its worn teeth, throwing tiny reflections across the room, fragments of a past that still breathes through you. Outside, the city hums with life again. Children laugh, trains whistle, factory smoke drifts into the sky. Peacetime.
Smoke, softer, cleaner. You close your eyes and listen. The sound is different now, but it still has a rhythm, not of war, but of endurance. And for the first time, you smile, because you know, even when the world forgot the women who kept it running, the echo of their strength never faded. It lives in every heartbeat of the machines they left behind.